Hey, what's up? It's Cinemania Recapped. In today's movie explanation, we are going to see how, due to the mistake of two cavers, prehistoric creatures imprisoned for millions of years got free, and then how they wreaked havoc in the world and how they wiped out the existence of humans from the Mother Earth. We will also see how a man wandered from door to door to save the lives of his family from those bloodthirsty creatures. Dear viewers, if you like our videos, then don't forget to subscribe to our Cinemania Recapped YouTube channel. So let's get started. 1,000 feet under Pennsylvania's Appalachian Trail, we see some cavers who are doing some kind of exploration, but then they hear some strange sounds from that cave. When they try to look into the depth of the cave, then they are attacked by some bat-like creatures, which were trapped there since the prehistoric period. Those bloodthirsty creatures kill both of them brutally, and after getting free from there, they go out to wreak havoc in the city and the entire country. Now the scene shifts, and we see one of the leading characters of this movie. This character's name is Allie, and who is deaf. Even though Allie cannot hear, she can easily sense all the events happening around her. Most of the students of her college make fun of Allie's disability. Now the scene cuts to the main character of this story, Andrew, who along with his best friend named Glenn, is explaining some kind of project to an investor. After this, we see Andrew talking to his wife named Kelly on the phone, where Kelly tells Andrew that some students in the college make fun of Allie behind her back and bully her by imitating her disability, on which Andrew gets a little upset. Now we see Allie, who is talking to a student studying with her in the college. The name of this boy is Rob, and Allie has a crush on him. Rob has also learned sign language to communicate properly with Allie. Now we see Allie coming to her home, where she is welcomed by a dog named Otis, but her younger brother named Jude taunts her. Now we see Andrew and his family listening to the news on TV, in which it is being told that some kind of deadly virus has spread in the big cities of the country, like Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. So everyone should stay in their homes until this virus is controlled. In the news, they also see mutilated bodies lying on the streets here and there, due to which all of them get scared. The government has ordered all its citizens to stay in their homes and not make any kind of voice or noise. So Andrew starts preparing to leave with his family and best friend Glenn in search of a safe place. Glenn also keeps some weapons for their safety. Now the scene cuts to a train in which many passengers are sitting quietly to save their lives. But then, a woman's newborn baby starts crying, due to which other passengers sitting in the train turn the woman out of the train along with her innocent child. Now the woman starts moving forward in the dark on the deserted railway track with her child in her lap. But then her child starts crying again, hearing whose voice all those bat-like creatures get attracted towards her and they kill both of them. After this, we see Andrew, who has come to the gas station to fill gasoline in his car. Here Andrew tells his son, whose name is Jude, that he has no need to be afraid because he has Uncle Glenn with him, who is very brave. Andrew tells his son that during college days, some boys used to bully him, then Glenn used to save him, and since then Andrew and Glenn are best friends. Then a man arrives there with a shotgun and tries to snatch the car from Andrew and points his gun at Andrew, but in the meantime, Glenn arrives there and shoots the carjacker in the leg, and then they all leave from there. Now, Allie researches about those creatures on her iPad and then tells everyone that these creatures are called vesps because they live in swarm. Allie tells them that those vesps were imprisoned in that cave for millions of years, which have mistakenly become free. Now we see that the roads and highways are completely jammed, so Glenn and Andrew take their cars and leave on a shortcut road. After covering some distance, a herd of deer comes out of the blue in front of Glenn's car, due to which his car becomes unbalanced and rolls down into a ditch. Andrew and Kelly run to see it. Glenn is stuck in his car, and along with this, he is also badly injured. Glenn forces Andrew to leave from there as soon as possible before the arrival of those ghastly creatures. Glenn asks Andrew for his gun, on which Andrew gives him his gun. Glenn asks Andrew that if he does not leave from there, he will shoot him, so Andrew has to leave from there unwillingly. On the other hand, Andrew's pet dog named Otis is barking very loudly inside the car, due to which those prehistoric creatures get attracted towards their car and start attacking them. All the people sitting inside the car get scared and start screaming, due to which a large number of Vesps try to break into their car and try to eat them alive. Then Glenn hears the screams of those people, so he fires a bullet to attract the attention of those creatures towards himself. Due to which, now all the creatures start moving towards Glenn's car. Here the dog Otis does not stop barking, so Andrew unwillingly takes him out of the car so that those people can save their lives. Now Andrew gets out of his car, but then his mother-in-law, whose name is Lynn, starts coughing, due to which a Vesp creature comes there, so Andrew throws away a tire iron lying nearby. On hearing its sound, the creature flies away towards it. Now Andrew comes back inside the car. Now coming inside the car, Andrew tells everyone that Vesps cannot see, they can only hear, and they find their prey with the help of sound. Along with this, he explains them through gestures that they have to find their shelter somewhere before it gets dark. Now Andrew asks for a lighter from Lynn. He burns Glenn's car with it. All the Vesps get attracted towards that fire and start burning to death in it. Now, Andrew sets out with his family in search of a shelter. On the way, they all stop at a place and take some rest. Then Jude sees a house built in the forest with his binoculars, which he tells his father about. Andrew also sees it with his own eyes to confirm this. Now everyone hikes into the forest on foot to reach the house. Andrew reaches in front of that house with his family. Andrew tries to open the door of that house, but as soon as he touches the door, the bells hanging on the door start ringing, due to which a Vesp comes there. Hearing the sound of the bells, the owner of the house, who is an elderly woman, comes out screaming with her shotgun. Due to this, those creatures kill that elderly woman very viciously. Now everyone tries to go inside the house through the drain tunnel. Jude first goes into the drain tunnel where he sees a rattlesnake. The sound created by the rattlesnake attracts those bloodthirsty Vesps. Those Vesps badly injure Kelly's leg, but then Andrew starts the wood chipper machine standing outside, hearing the sound of which all those creatures now get attracted towards that machine and start dying after going inside it. After this, everyone reaches inside the house safely. Lynn, who was once a nurse, checks on Kelly's leg and finds out that Kelly's leg is badly infected and needs immediate treatment. The scene then cuts to Allie, who is trying to communicate with Rob. Rob tells Allie that those heartless creatures have killed his parents and the town is now empty of humans. Allie asks Rob to all tank. They leave from there immediately. We then see Lynn dressing Kelly's wound, where we learn that the infection is spreading due to the Vesp's bite on Kelly's leg. Here Andrew goes to Allie, where she reveals to him that a man has been burnt alive in Mississippi. Here Lynn also enters the room. She tells Andrew and Allie that without antibiotics, the infection will continue to spread in Kelly's body. She searched for antibiotics all over the house, but couldn't find them anywhere in the house. So he will have to go out and get them, because Kelly doesn't have much time left. So Andrew takes his double-barreled gun and goes out with Allie to find antibiotics. While searching for antibiotics, they come across the infected bodies of 2 people who were killed by the vampire Vesps. Andrew and Allie are searching for a medical store, but during this, we notice that a man is watching them very closely. We will know in a little while who this man is and why he is following them. Now, Andrew and Allie reach an abandoned pharmacy store while searching, where they see dismembered and mutilated bodies of humans and understand what must have happened there. We see that the man is still keeping an eye on them. Andrew starts taking the necessary antibiotics. Then Allie notices that eggs have been laid in the dead bodies lying nearby due to infection, which contain numerous bats. Meanwhile, Vesps arrive there, by which Andrew and Allie are now surrounded. Andrew hits upon a dangerous idea. He sets fire to the mop and triggers the fire alarm, due to which the Vesp's creatures start hovering around the fire alarm, and taking advantage of this, Andrew and Allie escape from there. As soon as they were getting out of the pharmacy store, they find the same man standing outside who has been following them for a long time. Now that man stops Andrew and Allie, he tells them his name is the Reverend and asks them to join his cult named the Hushed, which he politely refuses to join and leaves from there with Allie. Here, we also notice that the man does not have a tongue in his mouth. Now we see Andrew, who is looking for some kind of news on TV. Then Allie comes there and tells that only one news channel, CNN, is on, and its signal is also cut. Allie says that the people of CNN are telecasting from a bunker. They reveal that Vesps do not like cold areas at all, so people are still alive in the Arctic Circle, and they call that place the Gray. This is a place where electricity is slowly going out, mobile phones are shutting down, and people have learned to live without them. Now we see the man who calls himself Reverend and who is tongueless reaches outside Andrew's house with his cult. Seeing this, Andrew and all his family members get a little worried. So now Andrew goes to talk to the man standing outside. That Reverend again asks Andrew to join his cult, but again in a very polite way, Andrew refuses to join that cult. On this, he writes something wrong about Allie, which infuriates Andrew a lot, and he goes inside to get his gun. Now Andrew points his double-barrel shotgun at all those people and asks them to leave from there. Actually, the people of the cult have come to take Allie, but for the sake of procreation purpose. Now the people of the cult also leave from there, but this is also a sign of a crisis to come upon Andrew's family. Now the scene cuts to Allie, who is chatting with Rob on her tab at this time. Rob tells her by text message that he is heading towards the north, where there's a refugee shelter named the Gray. People are still alive there. Now we see the night scene where everyone is sleeping. Then Andrew feels some noise. He looks outside the house through the glass, but he does not see anyone, so he thinks of going out with his gun. Here Lynn is also awake. Now Jude looks outside, and he finds a little girl standing outside the door who has been sent by those people of the cult, but Andrew and his family are not aware of this. They take the girl inside the house. Andrew asks her how she came there, but the little girl does not answer. Andrew opens the girl's mouth and sees that there is no tongue in her mouth, due to which he immediately understands that the girl has been sent by the people of that cult. Meanwhile, Allie is also awake. When Andrew removes the clothes of the little girl, he finds that a belt made of mobile phones is tied to the girl's stomach, which has been tied by the people of the cult named the Hushed. Those mobile phones suddenly start ringing. Hearing whose sound those deadly vesps start trying to enter their house, the people of that cult have laid a web of mobile phones in the entire house. At the lightning speed, those vesps start coming inside by breaking the glass of the house. Here the people of the cult also break into the house to kidnap Allie. Kelly and others show great resistance to those kidnappers, but then Lynn comes to save her granddaughter. She catches the people of the cult and then screams loudly, which attracts the vesps towards them and which leave them lifeless in no time. Lynn sacrifices her life to save Allie's life. The cult kidnaps Allie and starts taking her away again. All this became unbearable for Andrew and Kelly, so Andrew assaults the cult. He beats the head of the cult black and blue. Andrew is about to kill the Reverend. Just then, the tongueless man stabs Andrew in the stomach, but Andrew still manages to control himself and attacks the tongueless man again with a strong headbutt, and then he eventually kills him with his shotgun. And in this way, Andrew saves his daughter and family from the wretched cult. But in this encounter, his mother-in-law, Lynn, gives up the ghost. Now, after that dark and ominous night, a golden morning dawns, and we see Andrew with his family moving towards that shelter in the north, which is still untouched by those creatures. Now we see that Andrew and his family have reached the refuge named the Gray, located in the Arctic Circle in the north, where they are now safe, but for how long? In the closing scene of the movie, we see Allie and Rob hunting those vesps. Here Allie tells the audience that those vesps do not like cold areas at all, and that is why we humans have been able to survive here, because those vesps cannot survive in cold areas. But for how long will we continue to live like this? Will humans get used to staying silent like this, not making any sound? Now, it remains to be seen whether they will kill us or we obliterate them from the earth. And with this statement from Allie, the movie comes to an end.